Hey, I am John. I'm the singer from the Mountain Goats, and I'm here on In Sound to tell you about a favorite record. This is the soundtrack to the Gospel at Colonus. It is out of print. It's long out of print. I got it off of eBay in 1999. It is based on, I originally thought loosely, and then I got more familiar with the source text, and now I would say closely, on Oedipus at Colonus from Sophocles. When I first happened across this video at Music Plus, I don't believe they have Music Plus anymore. Apologies to the CEOs of Music Plus if they in fact do. It was a California place that had been an all-music store, and then, like a lot of music stores in the early 80s, it also added video rental, and then gradually the video rental began to encroach on its music section until there were only one or two lines of LPs left, which was good if you had less money because they got cheaper and cheaper, and bad if you liked to have a wide selection because by the end there was nothing. There was 2 rows of 12 inches and then a bunch of copies of early Bob Seger records. So, but I was there watching movies when I was 19, and working part-time jobs, and had very little to do, and I happened to rent the Gospel at Colonus. I was at the time not as emo as I am these days. I mean, now I can cry watching television commercials, but at the time I was pretty surprised to be watching this play, this musical that sets the Gospel at Colonus, a traditional Greek play, in a black church with a huge choir and with gospel legends, the 5 Blind Boys of Alabama, who again at this time you wouldn't have heard of them. I hadn't. Clarence Fountain and the rest of the 5 Blind Boys of Alabama play Oedipus, seeking out this resting place, some place to die peacefully. And it was incredibly moving because it was clearly trying to graft some Judeo-Christian ideas. I was at the time a practicing Catholic. Some Judeo-Christian ideas onto some much older ideas of personal accountability and responsibility in relation to ideas of God and the universe and other human beings and all that. I thought, well, someday I'll buy it. And did the same thing looking at the LP at Tower Records in West Covina. I go, well, one of these days I'll get it. I've seen that thing. Well, then Tower Records phased out its LPs entirely, and they were gone. And the video was gone from Music Plus. And the next thing I know, there are no copies to be seen. You couldn't find it on the shelves. Turns out there's out of print. The video, once it ran through its release cycle, didn't go back into print, and there is no Gospel at Colonus to be had. What better way to have a favorite LP than for the damn thing to have gone out of print? Right? So you can't actually hear it, and all you can do is sit around wondering if it is as great as it seemed to you when you were 19 and spending summer days contemplating how amazing a vision of personal reclamation the whole thing really was. I wind up on eBay, and what should I find but a copy of this long out of print CD, The Gospel at Colonus. And I was surprised to find that The Gospel at Colonus hadn't just gotten better, it had just gotten bigger and broader in everything it had to say, and you had that rare opportunity to compare your present self to your younger self with something that has been sort of sitting dormant inside of you for so long. And this is one of the things that albums are good for. This is Boz Scaggs' Silk Degrees, which got sampled half to death in the early 90s. You can't make out what he's saying. He has this slur, and when he hits a great phrase, he sounds like one of the best rock poets of all time. There are a bunch of images just sort of being floated past you in a mysterious here now, gone now, couldn't quite get the whole phrase. Sounds like he must be talking about something sense. And in the meantime, the orchestration, the horn section especially, is just phenomenal. This is a record about which really vague rumors circulate. That's one thing that makes a good album for me, is if there's backstory around it. The rumor is that the writing of Silk Degrees almost destroyed Boz Scaggs. It goes into some rather dark places for adult contemporary, which is what it is. I mean, it was pop in the mid-70s. It has We're All Alone, which was a huge hit for Anne Murray. But Boz Scaggs sings it as if he expected to be drowned by strangers when he gets done singing. And it comes at the end of the record, which is not a place you normally put a single. It's sort of a statement to put something, in my opinion, at the end of a record. You're saying that this is really only for people who bothered to listen all the way through. But yeah, it's got Lido Shuffle and Lowdown and Harbor Lights and Jump Street and what can I say? It's just a loaded record. And there he is, sitting on a bench. This record was everywhere when I was 9 or so. On the back, Boz is gone. And there's only the hand. The other one I want to briefly talk about is Jesu's self-titled. Justin Broderick from Godflesh puts together one of the most solid, long albums I've ever heard. It's very loud, very droney, compares to My Bloody Valentine, but less so for me because it has a lot more bass. And the fact that I don't know what the actual record looks like. This is a promo that got sent to me. So it says self-titled on it. I don't know if that was the name of the record, but I like to think that it was. Somehow or another, the sparseness of this promo with a sticker on it really works for me. I would imagine you won't have much use for this segment, so I'm going to be out of here. Bye.